I don't know if it's just only me, but I am in my 20s, which is a really strange period. I talked to some of my friends before and they, kind of feel the same things too. And I'm in this period of my life in which I wanted to return when I was, a child, and I felt things, I think, so deeply that I'm not feeling it right now. So I deeply wanted to take back, my childhood, because I think it's so important when you're in your 20s. And that's basically what we're going to do today, talking about The Little Prince. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chiara. So in this channel, I'm talking a lot about books, and which is a pretty good thing because it means that I'm reading really a lot. In this week in particular, but I think it's just a period of my life, I really wanted to see and feel things more, deeply than what I was feeling, in this period of my life, because I'm always in a rush. I always have pressure, goals, deadlines, and things to do that I'm not really focusing on the moment, on the day that I'm living, which is a really pity because, days are not going to getting back one day. So I really wanted to live my life at fullest. So this is what I'm doing right now. Basically, I wanted to, kind of take some things on my childhood, where I actually were a child, and kind of remind me how I lived my life before. Because when you are a child, you basically live the life at fullest. You play games, you kind of stay with your friends without thinking about the future, which is really one of my biggest struggles. Like, I always think about my future and about the person that I wanted to be, the job that I wanted to do. Everything is just so set because I have some goals to do, and I'm not living, as I said before, my days at the fullest, and I don't want to do this anymore. So basically, in these days, I took some books that I've read when I was really young, because actually I read a lot of books when I was really young, and then I stopped because of school, and then I, started reading again. And in fact, in this channel, I basically talk about romances, like dark romances, fantasy romances, every kind of romance I talk here about. But in this period, I'm reading some things that I've read when I was a child, and it kind of reminds me that I have to do more, actually, because it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so home is the right word that I have to say right now, because when you feel home, everything starts to kind of make sense in my mind. I don't know if it's just only me, but I feel that way, and it's so good because you kind of see things from a different kind of perspective, from a different kind of point of view that I am pretty sure that I saw when I was a child. So yesterday I started this kind of journey on myself, and I read 2 books, but the other one I'm going to talk to another video. One of them is this one that I read in Italian because I'm Italian, but I'm going to speak to you in English, which is The Little Prince, which was one of my favorite books when I was really, when I was a child, basically, because there are so many lessons. Like, every chapter of this book actually has a lesson, which was a thing that I remember that I pretty much like it, because when I was really young and I read a story, I remember that I get bored really easily, which is not things that characterize me anymore, because I read like 900 or so pages of books, which is, completely different from, this one. And I remember that I pretty like books which were short and which kind of gave me the possibility to see life from a different kind of view. I was really intelligent when I was a child. Yeah, this was one of my favorite one, and I think that I've read like 10 times or probably more. I don't remember, but I read also yesterday. But I see things yesterday from another point of view, which was the point of view that I saw when I was a child. Some things that makes me realize that this book is not just a simple book for children, but also a book for people that are in your 20s. It makes you realize so many things that you're like, oh my god, I should take this book forever with me and never leave the house without it, because it makes you realize that you are not alone, that also The Little Prince kind of lives something that you are living right now, even if you're Chinese and it was little, but that's the same. And especially because it makes you realize that this book is not just a simple book for, children, but it's also a book that's so important if you are in your 20s, but I think any kind of age at this point, because it makes you not feeling alone, because you understand that also The Little Prince, which is actually little, live some things that you're living right now. I also realized this thing because I watched yesterday the film, but this is, another topic. This is another thing that I really wanted to discuss together deeply in another video. Maybe I will say something to you at the end of this video, but this is just another topic because because also the movie was a little bit different from the book, but also so emotional. But, you know, as something a little bit different that I wanted to discuss to you after that. So today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite phrases and some of my favorite lessons of this book, which I think they are so important to be remembered, and that I'm going to take with me like forever. So the first phrase is, all grown-ups were children once, but none of them remember it. I think that this is one of the best phrases of this book, but there is one of my favorite one, which I'm going to tell you at the end of this video because it's so important to me. But also this one is so emotional because it makes you realize that actually we were all children once. Also our parents, also the people that we are interacted with, like for example could be like teachers, could be, you know, all the grown-up that we have in our life were children once. Children that actually had big dream, ask big question, believe in magic, which is so unreal to think right now, but that's the truth. That's basically the truth. We were all children. We were the purest version of ourselves that somebody kind of took forever and someone else didn't do it for some circumstances, maybe because for the people it was surrounded with, which is really pity. Because when we are in our especially 20s, I'm talking about myself right now, the world is constantly asking you to be, you know, more serious, to get a real job, to do, you know, all your duties, to kind of hide, you know, your softness, which is I think the best thing that we have, and that's probably why some really bad things happen nowadays, because we were not children anymore, because children actually don't do the things that we are constantly seeing nowadays. But this line in particular, I think there's a really gentle hand on our shoulder, because it makes you realize that inside of you, like in some part of you, there's still that child, and you have just to remember, you know, how this child is kind of look like and all these things in order to also be the better version of myself. Like when I think about my future job, because people constantly ask you what you wanted to be when you're grown up. Actually, I'm a grown up. I'm 21 years old and I'm studying economics, but I'm pretty do so much things in my life. Like I love writing, I love reading, I love interviewing, I love doing social medias, and I'm doing all these things. And then I'm also studying. So the fact that I'm doing so many things and then I'm actually pretty good and doing a lot of different kind of things, it makes me realize that I don't have necessary to be one single person. Like I hate when people say to me, yeah, you have to do the secret job, you have to do that stable job, you have to be, you know, that kind of person. No, I wanted to be myself, and myself, like my person, tell me all the time that I don't want it to be one single personality. Like I'm pretty sure that I don't have like multiple personalities. This could be a little bit problem, but I love doing so many things. I love having like so many hobbies that I don't want it to be, you know, identified as a single person. And I remember that when I was a child, I basically did the same things. Like I love play also video games, but I love reading too. I love going out, I love dancing. I loved doing so many things that if one person told me at the time what you wanted to be when you're a little girl, I would probably stare at them, looking to them in a strange way, like saying with my hands, what you're saying. Like I wanted to be myself. I don't want to be another person. I don't want to do like, I don't want to go just to dance class. I wanted to go to a painting class. I wanted to play video games. I wanted to read books. I don't want to do just one thing, you know? So when I read this phrase, all grown-ups were children once, that's the truth. We were all children, and then we have to, I think in my personal opinion, remember a little bit more that we were the purest version of ourselves, the kindest version of ourselves, that we have to kind of return to that state, to that child, to be the person that we really wanted to be, because we're so focused sometimes on the grown-up things that we don't realize how important are the small things that we loved when we were, you know, a child. The second phrase, which is so important also, is the time that you wasted for your rose that makes your rose so important. So as I said before, when you are in your 20s, you're so focused on, and you are like surrounded by goals, deadlines, things to do, so many things that also kind of piss you off and make you realize that, and then you don't have like enough time to do those things. But this phrase kind of whisper another different truth. So for me, meaning is something from the time that we really give to something that we care, about, which could be, for example, the well-known late night conversation. Like, I love spending time speaking to my person or my friends, or like my family loves speaking to them, but speaking not like what you're doing today, what we're going to do tomorrow, simple question like this. I love speaking to them in the purest way and kind of realize what we are, what we love to do, what are like our goals, but not like I wanted to, do this, I wanted to do that, tomorrow I'm going to the gym, tomorrow I'm going to study. I'm not saying this. The goal could be like, I wanted to working so hard because I really wanted to chase this dream. No one believed me about, but I believe that I can reach this dream because I feel that I have the potential. I feel that I'm enough to, reaching, that goal. And that's something so beautiful. I love so much the late night conversation. I love the conversation in general, but the late night conversation, when you're in a car and you kind of speak about your life in general, I think that they're the best. The people also, for example, the people that you kind of, choose again, or for example, as I said that before, the dreams that you wanted to reach, but no one believed in them. Your roles, your goal, your life, the person that you wanted to be is so important because you care, not because it makes sense. Not because someone told you to do that, not because teachers told you to do a specific college, specific university, not because someone told you how to live your life. Something which could be also a simple thing like reading a book. Enjoy the time that you're spending reading a book that you like. Not that you read because a teacher said to you that you should read this book, or someone in general told you that you should do a specific things. Everything that you care so much about, which can be also this video right here, like I'm caring so much about make you see, my point of view of things, is important because you cared, because you care so much that you're like, I'm going to put all my effort into it, and I'm not going to care if, someone came up to me and say to me, yeah, but you're doing this, you're like stupid, you're like whatever you like. I love what I'm doing. I love the fact that I'm spending time, enjoy what I'm studying, enjoy what I'm reading, enjoy what I'm writing, enjoy what I'm filming, enjoy what I'm talking to a person about. Everything. We should be more like this. We should be more, kind of self-centered sometimes. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to be, I would do whatever I want. I'm not saying this. You should be like more sure about what you truly love doing. Not because someone told you to do that thing, but because you love so much and care so much that people see you. Because people, I promise to you, people see you all the time, first of all. And second of all, see the fact that you love doing specific things. Even though for you it's not like this, because it cannot be like this for you, because I get it. Like, when I'm doing a video, I'm not going to think about other people, but when I finished filming, sometimes came up to my mind like, okay, all right, but no one's going to watch you, no one's going to watch me, no one is going to paying attention to the thing that I'm doing. This is a kind of thought that I have, when I first started. Right now, maybe my goal is like reaching people that care about the same things, that I care about. My most important goal is to do things that I love doing, and then whatever it comes, I don't mind. Like, until I'm doing something that I love, that's the matter. That's the matter of all the things that I actually am doing in my life in this period. Then we have our last lesson, which I said before is my favorite one, which is what is essential is invisible to the eye, which can be a little bit cliche because a lot of people love this phrase so much, but it kind of stuck with me, and I'm pretty sure that I will take with me, and I'm pretty sure that I will take with me like forever for the meaning of this phrase. In your 20s, I think that you're starting to realize how fragile people are. Sometimes when we post a photo on Instagram, on YouTube, or like a video on YouTube, or a video on TikTok, whatever, probably more like a photo on Instagram, it's so easy to kind of, smile at the camera and kind of post them. But maybe you're lonely, maybe you're like struggling with something, maybe you're like, I don't know, I'm going to post something because I have to kind of give a meaning to my life, like I have to do something, picture my life in a kind of way. Like, I don't know how to explain really better, but I just wanted to say that most of the time when I see a post on Instagram, I'm still a person like smiling in the photo. I can see right away that, I don't know, maybe I'm strange, but this person is not feeling good. I get it when a people is smiling because he's really like happy or she's really happy. And there are some like photos in which I can kind of capture the loneliness which is like behind this photo. Yeah, I know it is a little bit strange, but yeah, after like a little time, the people kind of make us see, you know, their perfect life, but they're not really that perfect. And nowadays on social media, I think that's a little bit, you know, more emphasize these things. Maybe, I don't know, in the past there was something else that kind of make you realize that. But I think that in our 20s, we can see the loneliness behind a photo that we post on Instagram, and which is, I think, really, really sad. And this is, you know, an invisible thing that I realize that I'm paying so much attention, especially when it's like a person near me. When I see, for example, a picture of my friend, I don't know, I see some strange things in the photo. I'm like, okay, dude, you have something that is not like good. You have to tell me what's going on. You know, I can kind of capture these little things if you kind of pay so much attention at the photo, you know, that, you know, your friend, probably your parents, is posting at the moment. Or probably could be love that kind of hides behind a small gesture. And this is one of my favorite things ever. Like, I don't need, like in relationship in general, we don't need necessarily like a lot of money. We don't need our person, you know, buys us expensive things. We also see like on social media, this kind of like people traveling, I don't know, like 20 times per year, or people that kind of constantly buying something, some clothes, some jewelry, some things in general, people buying a house, people buying whatever they want, which is cool. Like, we should be happy for these people. Maybe these things is a goal for them. We should be, you know, happy. Like, if you buy a house, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. But sometimes when you are, especially in a relationship, you don't need necessarily that. You need trust. You need kindness, you need connection to this person, and then everything is going to kind of came, you know. I see some couple that they were together just because he or she has money, which is really, really sad, because that's not the point of, you know, their relationship. It's more just, it could be, I don't know, like going to beach and eat a slice of, you know, pizza while watching a sunrise or a sunset, or it could be like writing letters, which is my favorite things because I love writing and reading. So, you know, I love the fact that people write love letters. I have a whole box of my boyfriend letters also, you know, in my wardrobe, which is my favorite things about him. And he has in his room this basically little bottle that I basically did for him with 100 little things that I love about him. So those are the beautiful things about relationship and things in general. I think that they are the most beautiful things that could be, you know, in a relationship. Or maybe it could be, I don't know, let me think. Like, if you're suggesting a book to a person, which could be also your friend, you know, too, and they actually read that book. This is the most beautiful things ever. When you're talking to a person and they listen what you're talking about and not just saying yes, you know, with their head. That's so rude. So there are these little small things that you can see in a person, and when you don't see it, it means that there is something wrong. It means that probably he or she isn't your person, and you have to kind of change this kind of chapter of your life. And remember, the most important things, which are the smallest things, which could be like as I said before, kindness, love, or for example, connection, can be posted or measured. Even though I work with social media and I love social media so much, I think that social media are not the worst things in the world that people, you know, say all the time. There are some tools, some really important tools that we can use to talk to people that we never managed to talk to. I know my limits. I know that there is a limit of things that I can post. Like, for example, I don't want to post my private life so much because I have things to say, so I prefer to post the things that I said actually. So the point is that the important things cannot be posted or measured on social media. So we have to kind of, you know, detach from social media when we talk about really important things. So yesterday I saw the movie movie. Obviously, I talked to you before the fact that I don't want to speak in this video, but I wanted to do another different video of my opinion about this movie. But I'm going to spoil it, that I like so much. It was so heartbreaking. The only thing that I wanted to kind of make you realize, because I'm going to discuss more about the other video, is that both in the film, in the movie, and in the book, we don't really know the ending. The ending is kind of unknown. These things made me realize a lot. But I don't have an answer right now because I just saw yesterday and I reread the book yesterday. So I have to think a little bit more about the ending part. If you have some suggestion, let me know in the comments. But I just have to realize why they made that ending. I have to kind of realize more why they made that ending, because it's not clear right now to me. But I think that it has to be something really important, because when there is no ending in the book or in the movie, it means that there is something important to kind of realize. So I have to think a little bit more about the ending part. But I just wanted to say that I love the film so much. I love the movie so much. There are some things that I liked. There are some things that maybe I would do in a different way, but I'm going to talk to another video about this. So when I wanted to say, The Little Prince isn't just a simple book for children. It's a book for, I think, everyone. It's a book that takes you home when you really need home, when you need softness, when you need kindness, when you wanted to really realize how life has small things and how the small things are really important to be remembered. And the fact that if we wanted to be the better version of ourselves, the better version of ourselves, if we wanted to get our dream job, if we wanted just to perceive, our dreams, we have to go back to the state of when we were actually children. We have to retake some things that we did when we were children, because when we were children, we always dream. We weren't afraid to dream too big. We weren't afraid to ask big questions or to believe in something that we actually don't believe anymore. I think that our minds are so, big in a kind of way that we can think and we can believe whatever we want. And we did at a certain time in our life, which was when we were, children. It doesn't mean that you have to be foolish. It doesn't mean that you have to be a child. Just to take the best things on when we were a child, which is just like enjoy your life, just enjoy your days, just be not always in a rush. We don't necessarily have to be always in a rush. Like, for example, I'm doing this video, all right, then I'm going to do my duties, then I'm going to do my works, which is a work right now, but I'm just saying, if you have another work, we have time, which is something that nobody tells you anymore. Like, you have time to do whatever you want and to be the person that you want. So stop wasting time thinking constantly about time, please. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it, and I can't wait to see what you think about this book too, because I think it's so important to also, interact to each other. I wanted to remember you that I have another YouTube channel which is so important to me, which is called We Are Stories, which is a channel that I pretty used to interview writers. And also, if you wanted to kind of know more about some writer in particular, let me know in the comment, which I'm going to, kind of contact them to be interviewed. If you wanted to support me, I remember to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Can't wait to speak to you about the movie and every book that I'm going to read. See you next time. Bye.